God's advice today. Have you ever felt that God is trying to speak to you, yet in the busyness of life, His signs go unnoticed? This message invites you to pause, reflect, and open your heart. Perhaps this is exactly what you needed to hear today. Watch until the end with openness, and if these words touch you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell to receive more messages like this. Don't forget to check the pinned comment for a 1-minute prayer and a recommended message to help strengthen your faith even more. God said, "My beloved son, you are not hearing these words by chance. Nothing in my kingdom happens by distraction or coincidence. If these words have reached you, it is because the time I appointed has begun to manifest. There were days when you thought everything was standing still, when the heavens seemed silent, when you were walking without answers. But even when your eyes saw no movement at all, I was working behind the scenes of your story. I saw every whispered prayer, every restrained tear, every night when your heart asked only for a sign that I was still with you. Today, I tell you, the time has come to live what was prepared while you waited. Do you feel that you are ready for a deep change in your life and in the lives of those you love? Sometimes, all we need is a small step of faith to open the doors to abundance, peace, and the blessings God has already reserved for us. A simple 1-minute prayer can be the beginning of a spiritual journey that transforms the inside and is reflected on the outside. If you desire to attract more light, balance, and prosperity, spiritual and material, click on the first comment. There you will find a simple practice, guided with love, that can help you connect more deeply with the divine presence in your life. What was held back begins to move. What seemed distant now draws near. What was confusing begins to take shape. There is a time for everything, and a season for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. This is the time I have set apart for you, a time of revelation, clarity, and alignment with what has always been reserved for your life. Comment, I receive God's perfect timing for my life. Quiet your heart now and allow my presence to touch the deepest places of your being. There are areas within you that remained silent for a long time, not because I withdrew, but because wounds spoke louder than faith. I know every memory that hurt you, every financial experience that generated fear, every broken promise that left marks. None of this went unnoticed. While you tried to remain strong, I was caring for what was fragile within you. The transformation that begins now is not superficial. It is born on the inside and naturally extends to every area of your life. Your mind begins to rest, your decisions flow with greater clarity, and doubt loses ground to trust. What once felt heavy begins to align with lightness, because when I restore the inside, the outside follows. Comment, my inner being is being restored by God's presence. My son, understand that your story has never been outside of my control. Every chapter of waiting, every season of perseverance, every moment when you thought nothing was happening, all of it was part of a process of preparation. You were not forgotten, you were being shaped. The lessons learned in patience became solid foundations for what now begins to be built. What may look to others like a simple change of circumstances will be, for you, the confirmation that I have always walked beside you. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31. You are entering a phase where your faithfulness will be honored, not with noise, but with stability, with peace, and with fruit that remains. Comment, my waiting in God was not in vain. This new season reveals something deeply precious to you. You have never walked alone. Even on days when you felt small before enormous challenges, when the weight seemed greater than you could bear, my hand remained extended, firm and constant. I saw every need before it became words on your lips. I illuminated your steps when the path seemed too dark to see any way out. The situations that tried to steal your peace, your hope, and your confidence were gathered and placed before me. Nothing escaped my eyes. I do not allow the past to rule your future, nor old pains to determine the next chapters of your story. What lies behind does not define who you are today, much less what you will still live. Now you begin to perceive clearer guidance, safer direction, and a confidence that no longer depends on external circumstances. A new peace is being built within you, a quiet certainty that every step is aligned with my care. You no longer move forward out of fear, but out of conviction. You no longer walk alone, because I go with you, guiding every decision, sustaining every step, and preparing what your eyes cannot yet see. Comment: I do not walk alone, God guides me in every step. My beloved, the voice of lack will no longer have dominion over your thoughts or your decisions. I am silencing the noise of scarcity that tried to convince you that it would always be this way, that your efforts would be in vain, and that tomorrow would carry the same weight as yesterday. The time of financial insecurity that followed so many of your days begins to dissolve before me, because I am rewriting your story from a place of abundance, dignity, and honor. I am not touching only your material resources, I am reaching your identity, restoring your self-worth, and reigniting your courage to dream again without guilt or fear. I want you to know, with absolute clarity, that I am your provider and I have never failed those who trust in me. As it is written, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," Psalm 23 verse 1. This promise is not only spiritual, it manifests in practical life, in daily bread, in doors that open, and in solutions that arise when everything seemed closed. I see your silent struggles and I honor every step of faith you took even when you saw no way out. When I release provision over your life, it does not come alone or in disorder, it arrives accompanied by peace in your heart, wisdom in your choices, and responsibility in your hands. I do not call you only to receive, but to prosper without fear, to manage without anxiety, and to live without the constant weight of scarcity that once consumed you inside. You will learn to handle resources from a place of trust rather than urgency, to plan without desperation, and to rest even while you work, because you will know that I am ahead of everything. The past of lack will not define your future, and the marks of scarcity will no longer govern your mind. I am teaching you to look to tomorrow with healthy expectation, without the feeling that something will always be missing. Where there was tension, there will now be balance. Where there was fear, discernment will arise. I am leading you to a new understanding. You are not a hostage to circumstances, you are a son cared for by me. Allow this truth to take deep root within you, for from it a new way of living, thinking, and acting will be born. Walk with confidence, for I sustain your steps, honor your faithfulness, and cause to flourish whatever you place in my hands. Comment: The Lord is my provision, and I shall not lack. Did you know that there is an effective method to attract greater financial prosperity? This technique can help transform your deep-seated beliefs and change the way you perceive reality. It had a profound impact on my life, and we would like to invite you to explore this special practice. When we trust that God wants to act in our lives, we gain the courage to ask Him directly. God desires to bless each of us in a unique and wonderful way. That's why it's important to seek His blessings with faith and confidence, believing that He has a special plan for you. If you would like to support our work and the team dedicated to bringing content that inspires and transforms, we invite you to check out our product. The link is available in the first comment, so you can discover how this technique can also help you on your journey. Your contribution helps us continue sharing messages that make a difference. We deeply appreciate your trust and support. I am restoring the trust that was broken when people promised help and disappeared. I am healing the frustration of plans that did not materialize, of attempts that felt wasted, of doors that closed without explanation. I saw when you held back your tears so you would not worry anyone. I saw when you rebuilt plans in silence, adjusting expectations without complaining. I saw when you felt exhausted, yet chose to keep moving forward even when motivation was gone. Nothing you endured was ignored. Every quiet act of perseverance was recorded. Now, I allow you to experience a movement that does not depend on human strength or fragile promises. What begins now is not born from excessive effort, pressure, or self-sacrifice, but from alignment with what I have already determined for you. You no longer need to force outcomes or chase validation. I am healing the places where disappointment tried to settle, and I am teaching your heart to trust again without fear. What unfolds from here carries peace, stability, and assurance. Comment: God is healing my disappointments and renewing my trust. My child, understand this clearly: my prosperity never arrives alone. It walks together with clarity, direction, maturity, and discernment. I am expanding your vision so you can look toward the future without fear, but with renewed hope and steady confidence. I do not want you living trapped in constant calculations, anxious thoughts, or the fear of lack and tomorrow. I want you to manage life from a place of peace, knowing the source never runs dry, because I am that source. When you understand who sustains you, anxiety loses its power. I am teaching you to steward what you receive without tension, to plan without panic, and to trust without fear. The Lord will bless you in all the work of your hands. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 8. Learn to trust not only in what arrives, but in who sustains you daily. Your provision is secure because it flows from me. Comment: I trust in the perfect provision that comes from God. In the spiritual realm, what was held back begins to move long before it appears in the natural. When I decree something, the process is already in motion, even if your eyes cannot yet see it. As you listen to these words, I am aligning people, opportunities, and answers in precise order. Economic doors begin to open. Delays start to dissolve. Injustices begin to be corrected. Paths that once seemed blocked are being cleared. This is not coincidence, chance, or luck. It is my decision. What I determine cannot be canceled, delayed, or reversed by human interference. Trust the unseen movement. Remain steady in faith. The manifestation follows alignment. What is shifting now carries permanence, not instability. You are not late, forgotten, or overlooked. You are positioned. What I have spoken over your life is unfolding with precision. Comment: I believe doors are opening for me. There were moments when you felt guilty about past decisions, moments when you believed it was too late to reorganize your life, to fix what was broken, or to dream again. But I tell you now, I am not limited by human time. I am not constrained by calendars, ages, or delays. I exist beyond what you call too late. What you see as lost years, I see as preparation. What you call mistakes, I transform into wisdom. What you thought disqualified you, I use to refine you. It is never too late to rebuild. It is never too late to prosper. It is never too late to begin again. I am the God who restores paths, renews strength, and breathes life where hope once faded. As it is written, "Behold, I make all things new." Revelation chapter 21 verse 5. What I am starting in your life now ignores every limitation placed upon you, by others and by your own thoughts. Your future is not chained to your past. I am opening doors you thought were permanently closed, and I am rewriting your story with purpose, dignity, and growth. Comment: God is doing something new in my life. Receive this word with an open heart and a rested mind. There is no need to strive, no need to force outcomes. What has already begun within you will continue to grow, unfold, and bear fruit at the right time. This is a new season, marked not by confusion, but by peace, not by lack, but by provision, not by fear, but by clarity and restored identity. You are learning to walk without the weight of yesterday, to breathe without anxiety about tomorrow. Trust the process I am guiding. Walk forward with confidence, knowing you are not alone. Live with hope, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. Dream without fear, because I am the one sustaining your steps. I am with you today, and I will be with you always. Every detail of your journey is held in my hands, guided by perfect love and unwavering care. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is forgotten. Your life is safe with me, and your future is unfolding exactly as it should. Comment: I fully trust in God's care over my life. My beloved child, listen with your heart open, because what I am releasing now does not belong to time as you know it. I am not restricted by years, by delays, or by the weight of what seemed impossible for so long. I can accomplish in a moment what you struggled to achieve over many seasons. I can untie knots that have held you captive for years with a single breath of my will. Right now, I am speaking directly over your life, and my word carries power to rearrange realities. What appeared frozen is beginning to move. What felt distant is drawing near. I am not visiting you briefly. I am establishing a new order within you. Feel how something unseen is already shifting. This is not imagination. This is alignment. I am stepping into the places where you lost hope, where you told yourself to endure just a little longer, and I am declaring that endurance is giving way to renewal. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where my hand can reach you most deeply, and from here, everything begins to unfold with clarity and purpose. There are burdens I am lifting that go far beyond numbers, bills, or obligations. I am canceling debts that were lodged in your thoughts, debts of fear, debts of self-doubt, debts of shame that whispered you were not enough. Those invisible debts have weighed heavier than anything material, and today I am erasing them. Fear has blocked your ability to trust my provision, and worry has clouded your vision of what I can do. I am dissolving those barriers now. I want your mind light, your spirit unchained, your breathing free again. You were never created to live under constant pressure, calculating survival, measuring your worth by what you lack. I am teaching you to live from trust instead of tension. As these inner chains fall, you will notice that your thoughts soften, your sleep deepens, and your decisions become clearer. This freedom begins inside, because once your mind is restored, your path becomes visible. I am not just giving you relief, I am restoring your ability to believe again without fear of disappointment. I desire that your financial life no longer feels like a daily battlefield but becomes a journey infused with meaning. What I am canceling first is spiritual, because lasting change must be rooted deeper than circumstance. I am removing the emotions that imprisoned you, the guilt of past mistakes, the fear of repeating them, the quiet shame of feeling incapable, the heavy belief that you were always one step behind. Those voices are losing authority over you now. You will no longer define yourself by struggle. I am reintroducing you to your true identity, one that knows growth without anxiety and provision without panic. Prosperity is not something you must chase in desperation. It is something that flows when alignment is restored. As these inner weights are lifted, you will feel your posture change. You will stand taller, speak with more assurance, and act without that constant hesitation that once held you back. This is not arrogance, this is healing. You are being prepared to receive without fear and to steward without guilt. The abundance I place in your life does not resemble the hollow riches that exhaust the soul. What I give does not poison relationships, inflate pride, or distance you from your essence. My prosperity brings you closer to who you truly are. It strengthens your character instead of weakening it. It restores connections instead of breaking them. It does not demand that you sacrifice peace to maintain it. What comes from my hand carries harmony within it. You will recognize it because it will feel clean, balanced, and purposeful. This prosperity aligns you with the dreams I placed inside you long before fear taught you to be cautious. It will guide you back to those quiet visions you buried because survival felt more urgent than dreaming. I am reviving those visions now. Not to overwhelm you, but to remind you that your life was always meant to expand with integrity. As you walk in this abundance, you will feel yourself becoming more present, more generous, more anchored in truth. My abundance heals, elevates, and creates paths that remain open. It is not fleeting or fragile. It builds foundations that endure. I am opening doors that lead you into environments where growth is natural and contribution is welcomed. You will find yourself in places where your presence brings value, where your voice matters, where your efforts bear fruit. This abundance is not only for your needs, it is so that your life becomes a channel of blessing. You will give without depletion and help without losing yourself. Opportunities will arise that surprise you, not because they are random, but because they were prepared ahead of time. You will notice connections forming effortlessly, work flowing with greater ease, and solutions appearing where confusion once reigned. I make paths where others see walls. I deliver answers when logic insists there are none. Stay attentive, because what unfolds next will confirm that I am actively guiding each step. I generate results where impossibility once ruled. Understand that I stand above systems, limitations, and human constraints. What I release cannot be withheld by institutions, opinions, or circumstances. Resources that were stalled are moving toward you, but they do not come alone. They carry restoration, dignity, emotional healing, and renewal. You are entering a phase where progress will no longer feel forced. You will recognize that what unfolds is not the product of relentless effort, but of divine intervention. This awareness will bring humility, not fear. You will know that you are supported, not tested endlessly. Breathe deeply and sense how this change is already underway. My presence steadies you. My breath strengthens you. My word directs you. The fears that once stole your rest are losing their grip. Nights filled with anxious calculations are ending. You are stepping into a season where peace guards your mind and clarity guides your choices. That constant mental pressure, the feeling of carrying everything alone, is being lifted. You will no longer live with the sense that something essential is always missing. I am restoring your inner calm so you can see life clearly again. I am lifting you so you can walk with confidence, not caution. I am supporting you so you do not fall back into cycles of scarcity. Doors you pushed against for years without success are now opening because I hold the key. What I open remains open. What I release remains free. What I bless remains secure. You are no longer striving in isolation. Even when you did not feel it, you were never alone, but now you will feel my favor surrounding you tangibly. Opportunities will come without exhausting pursuit, prepared before you even asked. What arrives will not enslave you. It will liberate you from fear, limitation, and environments that diminished you. I am returning to you the ability to dream without anxiety, to envision a future without bracing for loss. I do not want you merely surviving, I want you fully alive. I am guiding you toward an understanding that prosperity is not shameful or corrupting. It is testimony. It is a tool. It is a pathway to fulfill what I designed for you. When you advance, my glory is seen. When you rise, others recognize my hand at work. What I am building now is only the beginning. Nothing will be small, timid, or constrained by old definitions. It will be shaped by my measure, not by your past limitations. My beloved, understand this with clarity and certainty. What has begun in your life will not be interrupted. There is a divine continuity now surrounding you, a flow that is not fragile, not dependent on circumstances, opinions, or delays. You are not standing at the edge of something uncertain. You are already inside a sacred unfolding. What you sensed as a quiet stirring was actually a decisive movement. I am not testing the waters with you, I am establishing foundations. This is a true new beginning, not one born from desperation or escape, but from alignment. Even now, as you read these words, something within you is recognizing truth. Your spirit knows this moment carries weight. I am not revisiting the past to condemn you. I am closing chapters so your hands are free to receive what comes next. Nothing that tried to stop you before has permission to interfere now. The door is not merely open, it has been removed entirely. You are stepping forward without needing to look back, because what I am doing does not require your return to old versions of yourself. This beginning carries authority, and it will sustain itself. As this new beginning unfolds, a deeper transformation is taking place beneath the surface. My presence is reaching places within you that time had covered with silence, areas you learned to ignore simply because addressing them once felt too painful or unnecessary. I am awakening those dormant places not to overwhelm you, but to heal you completely. The prosperity I am preparing for you is not shallow or fragile. It is not something that collapses the moment pressure appears. It is built from within, anchored in wholeness. I am restoring your inner structure, the way you see yourself, the way you interpret life, the way you respond to opportunity. Your soul is being expanded so it can safely carry what is coming. You are not being rushed, you are being fortified. This is why the process feels emotional, why memories surface, why your heart feels both tender and strong at the same time. I am not just changing your conditions, I am reshaping your capacity. What you will soon hold requires depth, and that depth is being formed now. Know this, what is happening does not depend on your human strength, your past consistency, or your ability to maintain perfection. This movement flows from my decision, and I have decided to elevate you. Where I am taking you demands a different kind of awareness, not pressure, but spiritual intensity. That is why I am removing old weights you learned to carry for too long. Guilt that lingered, fear that disguised itself as wisdom, limitations you accepted because you thought they were permanent. None of these can travel with you. The strength being released over your life now is not common, because it is not borrowed from effort. It is infused. You may notice a quiet courage replacing anxiety, a steadiness where panic once lived. This is not coincidence. This is the result of alignment. You are no longer striving to become, you are allowing yourself to be established. Even if your natural eyes cannot fully perceive it yet, there is movement all around you. The atmosphere is shifting. Thoughts that once circled endlessly are reorganizing. Emotions that felt unpredictable are settling into clarity. A new sense of value is rising within your chest, not pride, but dignity. You are beginning to feel anchored instead of reactive. As my words move through you, they are not stopping at the surface. They are passing through layers of history, rewriting internal narratives you didn't even know you were still living by. Your heart is responding because it recognizes authority. This is why resistance is dissolving without effort. You are not forcing change, change is meeting you where you are. The confusion that once drained your energy is losing its voice. You are becoming internally coherent, aligned within yourself, and that alignment is powerful. The emotion you feel right now is not random, and it is not weakness. It is evidence that my action is alive within you. From this moment forward, I am strengthening your identity. Prosperity cannot remain where someone sees himself as small, invisible, or unworthy. For too long, you carried the weight of being underestimated. Words spoken over you in moments of ignorance or cruelty quietly shaped how you saw yourself. You adapted. You lowered expectations. You survived, but survival is not your destination. Today, I break that agreement. Your identity does not come from external validation or material accumulation. It does not come from past failures or missed chances. It comes from me. You were formed intentionally, with purpose that extends beyond immediate understanding. This awakening within you is not optional, it is foundational. Everything I am about to build will rest on this restored sense of who you truly are. This restoration is comprehensive. It is not limited to finances, opportunities, or visible success. It begins at the core of your being. I am realigning your desires so they no longer fight against your peace. I am adjusting your pace so you move in rhythm, not exhaustion. Each step forward is being stabilized so it lasts. This is why you are learning patience without frustration and confidence without arrogance. The peace I am giving you does not mean challenges will disappear, it means they will no longer dominate you. You are learning to trust the unseen work, the way every detail is being woven together with intention. Even what once looked broken or wasted is being reintegrated into a design that holds meaning. Nothing was lost. It was repositioned. As abundance begins to flow, it will awaken something sacred within you, responsibility without burden. You will discover that provision carries purpose. You are not being blessed merely to accumulate, but to circulate life. Generosity will no longer feel like loss, it will feel like alignment. As you give, your heart will expand rather than shrink. You will experience a joy deeper than possession, the fulfillment of becoming a channel. This is the true cycle of prosperity, receiving with gratitude and releasing with love, knowing the source is endless. This is why hesitation is dissolving now. You are learning to walk with full confidence, not because you control outcomes, but because you are guided by a hand that does not fail. When I affirm your capacity, no opposing voice holds authority. When I declare that you will prosper, nothing can obstruct it. When I speak release over your finances, no human resistance can cancel my decree. What I am pouring into your life is not rooted in pride, but in healing. I am healing the wounds left by lack, the silent humiliations, the moments you endured without defense, the needs you carried quietly because you could not provide. Those moments left marks, and I am touching them now. Lack will no longer shadow your memory or define your posture. I am restoring your dignity, your strength, your ability to stand upright without fear. New paths are being created specifically for you, not recycled routes, not competitive arenas, but spaces designed for your calling. You will no longer beg for opportunity or settle for fragments. You are being guided into a place where what I do through you will be recognized and honored. A force long dormant within you is awakening, stronger than fear, steadier than doubt. This is your new beginning, and it will endure. My beloved son, for a long time there were forces that tried to paralyze you through invisible pressure, through the constant weight of responsibility, through the idea that everything depended solely on your strength. You were made to believe that if you did not solve everything quickly, if you failed to fix every mistake or overcome every limitation, your life would collapse little by little. But listen to me now with clarity and calm. You were not born to live under oppression. You were not created to carry shame for not having everything figured out. You were not designed to exist as someone merely surviving while watching life fall apart. I formed you to be light in the midst of darkness, to stand firm when circumstances shake, to remain whole even when the ground feels unstable. Every pressure you endured shaped endurance within you. Every silent battle refined your character. What seemed like delay was preparation. What felt like heaviness was strengthening. I never lost sight of you, not even in moments when you felt invisible. Today I release you to live with a new understanding. You are sustained by me, not by earthly systems. Your security does not come from numbers, markets, or guarantees made by people. I am reorganizing your financial life with a higher purpose, one that goes beyond survival and reaches fulfillment. The abundance I release is not shallow or temporary. It carries restoration. It rebuilds what stress, fear, and long seasons of lack damaged within you. I want you to breathe freely again, without fear tightening your chest. I want you to make decisions without guilt haunting your thoughts. I want you to live without the constant weight of unpaid concerns dominating your mind. You no longer need to measure your worth by what you lack. I am shifting your perspective so you understand that provision flows from alignment, not anxiety. What comes now will arrive with dignity, order, and peace, because it is rooted in my intention, not in desperation. Every resource I place in your hands carries emotional freedom along with material provision. Your life is no longer trapped in the stress of tomorrow or the fear of what might go wrong next. I am positioning you in a space where you can see the future with confidence, knowing I am present in every detail, even the smallest ones. Opportunities you once believed were unreachable begin to respond to your steps. Growth unfolds naturally because the timing is right. You are not late, and you are not behind. The doors that open now do so with precision. You will recognize that what once felt distant was simply waiting for alignment. I am teaching you to plan without panic, to dream without fear, to move forward without constantly looking over your shoulder. The tension that once ruled your thoughts dissolves, replaced by clarity and calm assurance. This is the environment where your faith matures into confidence and your hope transforms into visible progress. Many around you believe time has already passed, that old dreams expired, that certain opportunities no longer belong to you. But I am not limited by human calendars. I renew. I restore. I return what was lost. I multiply what remained. Nothing is too late for me. When I decide to lift someone, the stage of life no longer matters. My promises do not expire. What was interrupted can be resumed. What was delayed can be accelerated. What was taken can be restored with increase. I work beyond human logic and outside predictable patterns. You are entering a season where lost years are redeemed and forgotten hopes find new expression. I breathe life into what seemed dormant. I awaken vision that was buried under disappointment. Do not measure your future by your past. Measure it by my word. When I move, restoration does not come partially. It comes fully, precisely, and intentionally, aligning every fragment of your story into a meaningful whole. What I have prepared for you is still alive, still available, still unfolding. Nothing was canceled. Nothing was forgotten. The way you will manage your prosperity will be guided by me, because I do not want fear to dictate your decisions anymore. I desire a clear, light, discerning mind within you. I pour discernment, clarity, and strategic vision into your thoughts. Your prosperity will not only be visible in your resources but also in your understanding. You will think differently. You will choose differently. You will act with wisdom instead of urgency. You will see beyond immediate needs and short-term solutions. This shift protects what I place in your hands. You are learning to steward with insight, not impulse. You will recognize value where you once overlooked it and avoid traps that once distracted you. Prosperity begins within before it manifests outwardly, and your inner alignment is now matching what I am releasing externally. Your mind aligns with my wisdom. Your choices are guided by my hand. You will not waste what I give you, because your vision expands beyond what it once was. I will release situations so precise they will feel custom designed for your life. The right people will approach you with fair proposals, honest intentions, and balanced opportunities. You will no longer need to force doors open or exhaust yourself proving your worth. Your fruit will speak for you. What once required constant effort will now flow with structure and ease. You will recognize divine order replacing confusion. Timing replaces haste. Discernment replaces fear. Each step becomes intentional. Each connection becomes meaningful. I am aligning circumstances to support your growth, not drain your strength. You are no longer striving blindly. You are moving purposefully, guided by clarity that settles deeply within you. Doors open without resistance. Paths align before you. What once appeared as a mountain becomes a level road. What felt narrow expands. I invite you to see alongside me, to understand that it is not only money I am releasing. I am releasing influence, balance, wisdom, and authority. You are entering a season where your voice carries weight and your presence brings stability. Your decisions will affect environments positively. This authority is not rooted in pride but in alignment. It flows naturally from intimacy with me. You will lead without force and impact without pressure. Others will feel safe around your clarity. Your confidence will not be loud, but it will be unmistakable. You are learning to operate from inner assurance rather than external validation. This authority matures you and positions you to influence with humility and strength at the same time. For a long time you lived prepared for the worst. That posture once protected you, but now I am lifting you out of survival mode. I call you into purpose, fulfillment, and expectation of good. I no longer want fear to be your default posture. I teach you to anticipate peace instead of disaster. The abundance that comes will not arrive with shock but with calm. It will arrive with clarity, not confusion. It will carry the certainty that this is not temporary relief but a definitive new cycle. Your inner world adjusts to this reality. You begin to rest without guilt. You trust without hesitation. You hope without fear of disappointment. This transition reshapes how you approach life. You are no longer bracing for loss but preparing for growth. This is a permanent shift, not a momentary improvement. I am releasing resources that allow you to do what you once desired but could not accomplish. Trips postponed, projects stored away, family plans delayed due to lack of means all begin to unlock. I do nothing halfway. I have not released only part of your victory. I have released the complete victory. I want to see you rebuild with courage, restart without shame, flourish without fear, and inspire without striving. Your life becomes evidence of my faithfulness. You will no longer question whether restoration is possible. You will live it. Each step forward affirms that this season is different. You move with confidence because provision meets vision. Your hands will finally complete what your heart carried for so long. I hope this message has been an inspiration to you. If it touched your heart, write Amen in the comments and share it with someone who also needs to hear this word. I invite you to click on the first comment, where you will find a special prayer and a suggestion to strengthen your spiritual journey. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to receive more inspiring content like this. See you tomorrow.